Namaskaram to all viewers of Jyotirmarg. Dear viewers, in our last rendering, we discussed how Arjun and Bhim fought and defeated the Kshatriya kings. Thereafter, taking Draupadi with them, those Pandava brothers went to the potter's house where their mother Kunthi will be waiting for them. Now, let's continue. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayed harihi om. The Pandavas came home with Draupadi, and before entering the room where their mother Kunthi was sitting, they called out to her saying they have received bhiksha. Since her sons were late to reach home that day, Kunthi was worried and tense, and hence she was not feeling hungry. Assuming that bhiksha to be food, fruits and vegetables as usual, Kunthi also called out and replied to them that they can share and enjoy their bhiksha. Thereafter, Kunthi saw Draupadi, and then she was worried about what she had said. Getting up from where she was sitting, Kunthi approached Draupadi, smiled and took her arm in her hand. Then she spoke to Yudhishthira like this: O king, you are well aware of all the intricacies of dharma. My words shall be the truth. Otherwise, it will be a sin to have spoken untrue words. And this princess shall not get afflicted by adharma in any manner. And she should never feel uneasy or uncomfortable also. How can we correct this situation for all of us? Dharmaputra Yudhishthira, who was born to Dharmaraja Yamadharma, was well versed in Dharma Shastra. He thought for a while and then consoled his mother, saying not to worry. Then addressing his younger brother, Yudhishthira said, O Arjun, this princess Yajnaseni was won by you, and with you only she will most appropriately shine as your Dharma Bhakni. So ignite the sacred fire and take her hand with all rites and rituals. Listening to his elder brother's words, Arjun said like this: O king, have you forgotten what our grandfather, the great Rishi Vedavyasa, had said when he visited us at Ekachakra? He told us about Draupadi's past and present. Then why are you deviating from the right course of action? So, being the eldest, you will marry her first, after which it will be the turn of elder brother Bhim. Thereafter, I shall marry her, and then Nagula, and finally Sahadeva will marry this princess. You are the king and the eldest brother. We are all your servants. Now you may decide what is right based on dharma and then order us to do so. Listening to the words of Arjun, every syllable of which was filled with his love and affection for his brothers, and also his obedience, allegiance, and faithfulness to his elder brother King Yudhishthira, those four brothers, Yudhishthira, Bhim, Nagula, and Sahadeva, were all very happy, content, and delighted. And amazed beyond all limits by the depth of their love and bondage, and their adherence to dharma, and also feeling blessed and protected by Raajamatha Kunthi, who was still holding her hand, Draupadi also stood silent and ready to accept King Yudhishthira's decision. Observing the expressions on the face of his brothers and Draupadi, and then remembering the words of Rishi Vedavyasa, that it was the will and blessing of Mahadeva himself that Draupadi will have 5 husbands in this birth, Yudhishthira finally spoke out like this: O my brothers, may this princess be wife to all of us, as that is what has been ordained by Lord Shankar, Rishi Vedavyasa, and our own mother. Time was putting everything in the right order. Draupadi had received that Varadan from Lord Shankar in a previous birth. The boon granted by the Lord is now getting fulfilled at the right and appropriate time. Draupadi and the 5 Pandava brothers who will marry her now were all destined to perform and accomplish several different acts and feats which are there waiting in the storehouse of time and destiny. Meanwhile, Lord Krishna had visualized that the hero who shot the target and stood shining with the Swayamvara garland put on his neck by Draupadi, and then along with his brother defeated the mightiest kings of Aryavarta, who were none other than the Madhyama Pandava Arjun and his elder brother Bhimasena. Lord Krishna, along with his brother Balarama, followed them and now came inside the potter's house and met the Pandavas and Draupadi. The Pandavas respectfully greeted those heroes of the Vrishni race and stood around them with great joy and delight. Then Krishna, approaching Dharmaputra Yudhishthira, who was elder to him, touched Yudhishthira's feet and said like this: "Myself, Vasudeva Krishna, offer my pranam to King Yudhishthira." After Krishna, Balarama also offered his respects to Yudhishthira. Thereafter, all other Pandava brothers did pranam to Lord Krishna and Balarama. Then those Yadava heroes, Krishna and Balarama, touched the feet of their father's sister Raajamatha Kunthi and received her blessings. Yudhishthira then asked Krishna how they could find out their residence there at the potter's house. With his charismatic smile, Krishna said, "However hard you may try to cover the fire, will it not show itself, O king? On this planet Earth, like what you did today, who else can display such bravery and valor other than the Pandavas?" Thereafter, Krishna continued like this: "Those wicked sons of Dhritarashtra and those others with them tried their best to finish you off with fire, but you all outlived that fire. Now that fire which they have ignited in your hearts will consume them one day. And like a fast growing and spreading fire, you will grow and become successful in life." After a pause, Krishna continued, "Several kings and monarchs are still there in and around in this city. They shouldn't recognize you at this moment. So let's return to our camp now." So saying and bidding farewell to them, Krishna and Balarama left the Pandavas. Meanwhile, Draupadi's brother Dhrishtadyumna's spies also had tracked the Pandavas to the potter's house. Positioning themselves in the vicinity of that house, one of them went back and informed Dhrishtadyumna about their location. Very soon, Dhrishtadyumna also arrived there and observed the Pandavas with Draupadi and Kunthi. The next day also, Dhrishtadyumna and his spies followed and observed the Pandavas. Thereafter, Dhrishtadyumna returned to the palace and met his father, King Drupada, who was anxiously waiting for information. After describing everything that he had seen and understood, Dhrishtadyumna told his father that the 5 brothers are the Pandavas in disguise, and the lady at the potter's house should be their mother, Raajamatha Kunthi. A very happy and pleased Drupada immediately summoned the royal priest and sent him to the potter's house to talk to them and to ascertain their real identity. Dear viewers, here ends this episode of Rishi Vedavyasa's timeless epic Mahabharata. Harihi Om.